Hi, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Sober Living series. Today we are doing segment 4, and that is the depression segment. Depression is something that pretty much everyone goes through at least some point in their lives. And so this is really important to go over because depression is huge when you're in recovery. So we've got a bit to go over, so I'm going to start right away. So, mental illness and addiction tend to go hand in hand. Sometimes people begin using in order to numb the emotions that are already there, and other symptoms of a mood disorder, and in other cases they develop mental health problems over the course of several years of active addiction. Even those without a formal diagnosis of depression may feel a mood drop in the weeks after rehab. The question of which comes first, depression or addiction, therefore is of less importance than one may believe. Regardless of where one's journey with recovery and mental health began, it's vital that you're able to manage these intense feelings after treatment. So it doesn't matter if your depression came before your addiction or the other way around. Either way, you have an issue, usually a dual diagnosis mental health issue. So you not only have an addiction, but you have to deal with depression too. And depression can hit you hard when in recovery because you're saying goodbye to drugs and alcohol. And that takes away the one thing that you had and the one thing that you could fall back on. And so that can worsen depression symptoms. And if went unmanaged, it can lead to relapse, which is the ultimate goal not to do here, or it can lead to worse than a relapse. And I think we all know what worse than a relapse is. But depression unchecked can become extremely, extremely hard to deal with if gone for long enough amounts of time unchecked. I'm out of it today, guys. My wrist is hurting. My head is going crazy right now with a bunch of things in my mind at once, so please excuse me if I stutter a little bit and stumble through. Addiction is often referred to as a chronic, progressive disease of the brain, and for good reason. By consuming mind-altering substances, whether they are stimulants or depressants, your body receives false messages and the reward system is completely rewired. Equilibrium is disrupted and the mind becomes used to an incredibly skewed number of feel-good neurotransmitters. Our body doesn't release naturally. Our body does not release the amounts of neurotransmitters that a drug does, which is why it causes such a huge addiction. Why it causes such a huge problem in the first place is because you're providing your body with the neurotransmitters your body would already naturally provide you with. And so because you're providing it with it no longer needs to produce those neurotransmitters. And those neurotransmitters would be serotonin, norepinephrine, dopamine, all those feel-good endorphins and stuff that make you happy. By detoxing, getting sober, and participating in a rehab program, you are ridding yourself of the substances your body has grown to depend on. The longer you misused drugs or alcohol, the more significant the change to your brain. The harder it is for you to get sober and to maintain sobriety. The longer you've been on drugs, the harder it is to reach sobriety and reach cleanliness. And it's hard for everyone. I don't think it's harder for someone who's used longer. I think it is equally hard for any drug addict, any alcoholic to stop drinking, stop using. But ultimately, you just have to want it enough. That's the first step, always, is wanting to become sober. Enough. If you want it enough, that's the first step. Things are going to be a little bit easier since you actually want to become sober. As your body adjusts to a sober life without substance use, there will be a marked period of recalibration. During this time, your brain is attempting to compensate for the new, more realistic amounts of dopamine and other neurotransmitters required for functioning. This may result in feelings of depression or emptiness as you go through treatment in the weeks following it, but it does not mean you are failing. This is a completely natural part of the process. It's saying goodbye to drugs and alcohol can make an addict grieve, and we will go over that in another segment, grief and loss during recovery. But you mourn the loss of your friend, and it can cause depression. Boredom and depression, they all tie in together because they all come after recovery starts. So, depression and early recovery. Whether your depression is catalyzed by detox or has always been a part of your life, it is important to successfully manage it during the early days of sobriety. Luckily, there are several steps that you can take to improve your mental health and protect your recovery. First, you're going to lean heavily on your support network, especially in the first 30 days after treatment. Surround yourself with friends and family who can cheer you on during this challenging time. Supportive, non-addicted friends. If you need a little bit of help completing daily tasks or readjusting to life at home, give them a call. And don't hesitate. If they care about you, if they are a true support system, they will help you. Don't try to do it alone. In a similar vein, attending regular meetings gives you the chance to hold yourself accountable while expanding your circle of sober friends. Learning from others and feeling truly understood can go a very long way to alleviating your concerns. And being vocal about your struggles will stop them in their tracks before things get too far. Next, don't be afraid to seek professional help. I have said this a lot throughout this series. Please do not feel weak, do not feel afraid, do not feel stupid for having to ask for help. It is human nature to have to need help sometimes. And it's not a bad thing, and it doesn't make you weak, it doesn't make you a loser, it doesn't make you stupid. It means you're human and you are asking for help. It means you want to live, you want to survive, you want to be sober, you want to fight another day. Okay, many treatment centers will continue to make themselves and their resources available after your residential program has ended or concluded. They can connect you with local groups and recommend therapists or psychiatrists who will continue your care. They may even provide long-term treatment solutions. Sober transport, sober coaching, monitoring, and sober living may be a good fit for you at this stage. By being aware of your mood and being proactive in your self-care, you can manage any feelings of depression that seek to sabotage your sobriety. Depression can be a huge sabotager of your recovery. You don't want to let your depression get in the way of staying sober. Because, and I say this because with depression comes the want to use or to drink, to numb that pain, to numb that hurt. And so that's where depression can sabotage your recovery. If you uncheck it, if you let it go on and you don't go get the help for it, or you don't get treatment of any kind for it, and you just ignore your depression, eventually it will lead you to relapse. And as we repeat multiple times in this series, that is the ultimate goal, is to avoid relapse. So symptoms of depression. Education is power, which is why I'm doing this series, and to educate anyone who stumbles onto these videos or anyone who needs help getting sober. Education is key. And it is power. If you're educated, you have power over a situation. Know what to look for in yourself or a loved one. The sooner a mood disorder is caught, the more effective treatment will be. Everyone's mental illnesses manifest in unique ways, so you may exhibit all or just some of the symptoms outlined below. If you are concerned, it's best to visit a doctor, even if your issues don't match the content of this list. Okay, so signs that you may be experiencing depression include low mood, feelings of worthlessness, helplessness, pessimism, sleep problems. Either you're an insomniac and you can't sleep, or you're hypersomniac where you sleep too much to be healthy, at least. Chronic fatigue, where you're always tired, which honestly, I think everyone's always tired. Social isolation, appetite disturbance, eating too much or not enough. Anhedonia, which is diminished pleasure from previously enjoyed activities. So if you previously got a huge amount of fun out of an activity and now you don't, all of a sudden, that could be a sign of depression. Difficulty concentrating, feelings of guilt or shame, intrusive repeating thoughts of death or suicide. If you're having any of these symptoms, please go get help. Please talk to someone. Even if it's not a counselor, just talk to someone and let someone know how you're feeling. That way you're not keeping it to yourself, because you'll find that talk therapy helps a lot. A lot of people will frown down upon it and go, I don't want to talk about my problems, because society has made it out to be, if you need help, if you need therapy, then you're less than human, which is not the case. Again, if you need help, ask for it. Do not hold your feelings in, because then it bottles up and it gets worse, I promise. So a dual diagnosis treatment, like we talked about earlier. Those who are battling both mental illness and addiction require a unique, comprehensive approach to their treatment. In order to successfully restore normality, both concerns must be addressed simultaneously by a qualified clinical team. You can't just address one and then address the other right after. You have to address them at the same time, which is what my doctor is doing. I get treated for depression by doing talk therapy, by counseling, because medications for depression make me worse. Everything I've tried has just made it worse. Has made the suicidal thoughts worse, the ideations, the planning. It just, no. Makes it really bad for me. So I go all natural, and I just take care of myself, and I talk, and I write, and I, meditate. Whatever helps at that moment, I will do. And it's gotten me through a lot better than medications have, in all honesty. Here are 13 natural ways, while we're on that note, to managing depression during addiction recovery. 13 natural ways, and I do a lot of these, actually, as I was writing these notes and planning how I was going to say things. This went perfectly with my discussion, because I do a lot of the stuff on these lists. So, Number 1, establish and maintain a daily routine. Developing a routine in recovery has many advantages. Not only will you be better prepared or equipped to deal with stress, but routine can also help you maintain a sense of purpose in life, improve your self-esteem and self-efficacy, increase your brain function, and decrease your chance of relapse. All these things can reduce feelings of sadness and anxiety and work together to combat depression in recovery. Okay, so I had to look it up just to be sure. I didn't want to give the wrong definition, but self-efficacy is a very important trait to have. It is the confidence in one's ability to get something done. That is the basic, explanation. This is the Google explanation. Self-efficacy refers to an individual's belief in his or her capacity to execute behaviors necessary to produce specific performance attainments. It reflects confidence in the ability to exert control over one's own motivation, behavior, and social environment. So it is the confidence in yourself to know that you can get something done in your environment, in your person. It's a great trait to have. It really is. Number 2, set daily goals. And I say daily because in recovery, if one is to think too far ahead, that's why we say one day at a time, day by day, minute by minute, hour by hour. The reason we say that is because addicts have a mind that can easily get overwhelmed. So putting too much pressure on oneself can cause relapse. So it's why it's good to make little goals. You have daily goals, year goals, and 5-year goals. That's about the farthest you should probably think. Maybe 10 years when you're not in early recovery, though. It's not good to overwhelm yourself with thoughts. Make realistic goals, too. Don't make goals that you're going to have to go to huge extents to get done. Make goals that you know you're going to be able to get done easily. Depression has a way of holding you back and keeping you from moving forward in your life. Conversely, a life of sobriety is about looking forward, striving to be better, and learning from your past mistakes without dwelling on them. Setting small goals each day can provide motivation to maintain your sobriety and increase self-confidence as you successfully complete the daily tasks you've set out to achieve. That's another thing. It helps with self-confidence. When you get something done that you set out to get done, it feels really good. Earlier, I did the dishes because the kitchen was a mess. Got the dishes done, made myself some tea. Now I'm doing this series and doing the segment for the series. And it felt nice. In the end, it feels really nice to pick up because not only do you get a beautiful looking home, you're comfortable in your environment and you got the goals done that you set out to do. Adds a little boost of self-confidence and self-love that is great. I'm not going to lie. Number 3, volunteer. Although it provides many benefits to the person receiving the aid, volunteering also has some amazing therapeutic benefits for people in recovery. Volunteer work in any capacity can reduce feelings of depression by improving mood, increasing self-esteem and self-worth, and enhancing well-being and overall satisfaction of life. It may also help you to develop a sense of identity during this new and uncertain time in your life. So, I want to add to that, but as an addict, that becomes our personality, unfortunately. And even during recovery, when, like myself, I'm 7 years clean, and I still get looked at as an active addict. And people assume that that's still my personality, that I am still that addicted asshole thief, you know what I mean? So volunteering is a great way to find out who you are again, to find out who you are besides the addict, to find out what your personality is, who you are as a person and not an addict. So that's a great way to find out. Volunteering, going on, random trips with safe people, of course, or even by yourself. Just find out who you are. You're not an addict anymore, so create who you want to be. Number 4, try aromatherapy. I love aromatherapy. There is an aroma for everything: headaches, anxiety, depression, anger. Yeah, I love aromatherapy. According to the Natural Medicine Journal, aromatherapy with essential oils can relieve many different ailments and enhance your mental health. Essential oils such as clary sage, basil, ylang-ylang, lavender, sandalwood, patchouli. Personally, I don't like patchouli. Geranium and chamomile all have healing properties and are commonly used in the treatment of depression and anxiety. Using them is easy too. Simply dilute the oils with almond oil or olive oil and massage them into your skin. That's important, to dilute your essential oils, because they can burn your skin if put on directly and not diluted with almond or olive oil. They are absorbed directly into the bloodstream that way and may help relieve some of the anxiety, tension, nervousness, and sadness you feel without having any adverse side effects. So you don't have to take a pill. Just use aromatherapy. Please be sure to dilute your essential oils. I do not want someone just putting straight up essential oils on their skin, because then they will burn themselves. It's just no. Dilute it with almond or olive oil. Number 5, make some dietary changes. What you consume has a huge effect on the way you feel, so naturally prioritizing nutrition in sobriety can help relieve depression and promote overall well-being and addiction recovery. A diet containing high levels of sugar and caffeine can contribute to feelings of anxiety and depression, and studies also show sugar can inhibit the brain's ability to help us cope with life stressors. On the contrary, certain vitamins and minerals like zinc, omega-3 fatty acids, and folic acids are said to combat symptoms of depression. So a whole food diet that consists of fruits and veggies, healthy fats, whole grains, lean meats, and lots and lots of water, can make you feel more energized, happy, and healthy. Oh. My poor wrist, guys. So there is a huge reason why they tell you to eat protein and healthy fats and omega-3 fatty acids and all those other things that come along with keeping our body healthy. It helps with anxiety and depression, of all things. It can alter your mood. Being on high sugar foods, high sugar diets can make you jittery and anxious, jumpy. Just not a good thing to have a whole all sugar diet. You know what I mean? So, number 6, get moving. Don't just stay home all day. Go exercise. Go take a hike. Go do some jumping jacks. Even if it's just that, some jumping jacks. You got your blood pumping and your body moving. Regular exercise and physical activity produces endorphins. It's another reason. Which are chemicals that reduce stress, relieve pain, improve sleep and cognitive abilities, and elevate a depressed mood. According to the Anxiety and Depression Association of America, the ADAA, many research studies have provided evidence that physically active people have lower rates of depression, and a regular routine that involves exercise can significantly reduce symptoms of depression and anxiety over time. People in recovery don't even need a gym membership to enjoy these benefits, as simple outdoor activities like hiking, walking, can provide great exercises and other benefits for sobriety. Sorry guys, got a haunted house here and that distracted me a little bit. Number 7, go outside and catch some sun. Vitamin D is really good for your body in excess, of course, because you can always get too much of anything. But it's really good for your depression. If you're sad, I know you may not feel like getting up and going outside, but sunlight can help. It really can. Exposure to sunlight has a huge impact on your mood and overall health. Scientists have found that exposure to natural sunlight, can't be this fake ring light sunlight type stuff, because this is not sunlight. That out there is what's going to help you. It can affect many of the body's natural functions, such as regulating sleep, breaking down energy for food, strengthening the immune system, and regulating mood and weight, among many others. Although studies do reveal sunlight to be a less drastic and immediate treatment for depression, it can still elevate your mood, get you outside, and encourage you to be more social, which are all things that may improve your spirits. I know when I'm around people, I may stay depressed or sad for a little bit, but then I can't really help it, and my mood picks up. It's great. It really is. It's all great. Consider getting a pet. This I have done. I have 4 pets, 1 here and 3 at my mom's. Pets are a huge, huge mood booster, because pets are nuts, for one, and the things they do will make you crack up, which lifts your spirits. And they're just loyal in general. It's something that is yours, and you have to take care of it, and you have a responsibility over it, and that responsibility helps get you up at times when you need to be up. It gets you up during the day. It gets you out of bed, doing something for something else. Pets can enhance a life of sobriety in many ways, and studies show having a pet can help reduce symptoms of depression. Whether it's a dog, cat, fish, or hamster, a pet can offer comfort, companionship, and unconditional love. Caring for a pet may also help you develop a more structured daily routine as you integrate your pet's feedings, grooming, and exercise needs into your own schedule. A recent survey by the Human Animal Bond Research Institution found 74% of pet owners believed having a pet improved their mental health. So if you feel you could handle the commitment, because it may be fun and games and cutesies, but it is still a responsibility, having a pet in addiction recovery may be the right choice for you. Please make sure you're ready for that commitment, though, because a pet is a commitment, ultimately. Okay, lovelies. Number 9. Stay involved with your community support group. Maintaining your involvement in community 12-step support groups will give you an outlet to discuss recovery-related issues, including depression. Talking about mental health issues can be very therapeutic, and connecting with peers who are dealing with similar issues may provide a sense of camaraderie and serve as a constant reminder that you're not alone, especially when things get tough. And it doesn't have to be a 12-step group per se. It can be NA, AA, 12-step meetings, as long as it is a community support group and they are there for people to talk to, then it's acceptable. It does not have to be a 12-step program exactly. So, number 10, make music a part of your life, a part of your daily life. Music is something I cannot live without. I love music. I love singing, I love dancing, I love listening to music. Just, it helps improve my mood. The American Music Therapy Association lists many benefits of music for those suffering from depression. According to the association, music can reduce muscle tension, increase self-esteem, decrease anxiety, enhance relationships, increase motivation, and provide a safe emotional release. Because music just makes you either scream and cry, which is safe, which is fine. It's okay to scream and cry and get that out. Or it can make you giddy and happy and just, I love music. Whether you create a playlist of your favorite tunes for your morning routine, regularly listen to songs that encourage you in your recovery journey, or you learn how to play a musical instrument, engaging with music daily can provide positive mental health benefits and natural treatment for depression. Because that's what we want, is natural treatment. That was my ultimate goal, was getting treatment without having to get meds. Unfortunately, I couldn't make that goal because I have deeper mental health issues than just depression and anxiety. You know what I mean? So I couldn't go the no medication route, unfortunately. But I only take the medications that I have to, which are Suboxone, gabapentin, Seroquel, Abilify, and ibuprofen. And those are all I need, and I only take them as needed. And I've actually cut down on the amount of ibuprofen that I take when I'm in pain as well. I only take one, whereas I used to take 2 at a time. Cutting down is at least healthy as well. And I don't take anything for depression. I do these. Number 11, practice meditation or yoga, even if it's just for a few minutes a day. They provide many benefits for a life in addiction recovery. These physical and mental practices are great exercise. They're free, and they align with mindfulness practices that are emphasized in the Big Book. Not only that, but they also raise GABA levels, which gabapentin does too,